Good evening. Welcome to Economics 330, Global Trade and Political Economy. I am Professor O. Felix Obi, and this is the City University of New York, MAC. First of all, let me begin by extending a big congratulations to everyone. As you should know, this is the last week of class. Next week, we go into reviews, and then you have from between Monday of next week to Thursday, 2 weeks from now, to complete your finals. And I could not be more proud of everyone in this class, the incredible effort that most of you, if not all, have put in. And for those who left a little bit on the table, I encourage you and I wish you even more success and even more effort in the weeks ahead and in your semesters ahead. Again, I could not be really more proud of the effort that has gone into making this semester what it has become. And as we head into the finals, I'm wishing everyone good luck. Don't, let your foot off the gas pedal. Keep at it. 3 more weeks and we bring it home successfully. So welcome to the last module for this course, Global Trade and Political Economy. In this class, and for this last class of the course, we will discuss current and developing issues in global political economics. As you know, the three distinct theories in international political economy is the realist, the liberal, and the critical perspectives, and they have evolved and influenced each other over time. As some theoretical approaches such as hegemonic stability theory and regime theory draw upon more than one of these perspectives. As a quick refresher, the regime theory within international relations argues that international institutions or regimes affect the behavior of states or other international actors. Notably, a regime is a set of principles, norms, rules, and decision-making procedures in a given substantive area in international relations. Hegemonic stability theory, or HST, argues that the international system is more likely to remain stable when a single state is the dominant world power or hegemon. Thus, the end of hegemony diminishes the stability of international systems. To help link theory and practice, it may be instructive to focus on three main themes. 1, globalization. 2, North-North relations. And 3, North-South relations. Remembering, of course, that North-North relations is a shorthand for relations between industrialized northern countries, and North-South relations is about relations between the largely industrialized South and largely industrialized North and the developing South, global South. Again, this is not a strict geographical construct, but more of a framework to think of nations who are at the various stages of development. So in doing this, we will analyze first the learning outcomes for this week, which really encapsulates what this class is about. And the first is to analyze contemporary events in global economic environment and explain them in the context of IP. As an example of contemporary events includes the North-South divide on a need, say for instance, of recent trade challenges. There has been the argument until now that many of the international institutions or the Bretton Woods institutions or institutions that undergird the rules-based international system are there for the most part to serve the interest of the industrialized North. Well, World Trade Organization, for instance, has been less than effective in mediating the ongoing tensions in the global trading systems. And many countries in the global south can be argued to risk being lost in the shuffle as the United States and China stake out positions in what would, one hopes, eventually be trade negotiations. As the European Union um, stake out and try to articulate a unified position and then engaging the United States. And today, um, a new German chancellor was elected, um, and he has committed to helping build a stronger and more independent Europe. Some have imagined that BRICS would be one such vehicle that can provide a unified engagement framework for countries in the global south. I have always thought that that was not likely, and for a number of reasons. The most successful organizations have shared values and shared strategic goals. It is not clear to me, as an example, what unifying values there is between the countries of BRICS. It is not clear to me, as an example, what strategic objectives that unifying strategic objectives that the BRICS countries share common. I don't know that India is as invested in a Chinese hegemony. I would suspect that India would like to see itself as an example, as an emerging global power, and that is in partnership with the United States. That would call into question its ability to have a unified strategic stance with China. Tactically, I'm sure there are things both countries can agree on. And this is just one example of the many challenges that that inform my reservations about the effectiveness of BRICS as a vehicle for the global South to engage on equal footing with countries of the global North. So several such examples exist, but the idea is to think of forums where both parties can come together and find common ground. And the second learning outcome is to critically explain current trends in North-South economic relations. The big question is that for the first time in perhaps 70 years, there cannot be said to be a united strategic common grounds between industrialized countries of the North. As some of you may have noticed, the Canadian Prime Minister is in Washington, D.C., and met with the President of the United States today. And they appear to have had a very cordial uh, public engagement session. Of course, they then went into the privacy to discuss some of the pressing bilateral challenges between the United States and Canada. But that we are discussing the relationship between the United States and Canada in this context gets to buttress why this period is probably unlike no other that the world has witnessed in in the last 60, 70 years, where there does not appear to be a unified or a common agenda between, or unifying agenda between the countries of the industrialized North. Eventually, these issues will resolve themselves because the imperatives of trade, the imperatives of commerce, and the imperatives of national economy, I suspect, will moderate some of the behaviors and become an incentive for countries to reach a trade agreement and find a unified path forward, I hope. But it still doesn't remove the fact that it is not clear what positions the global South countries are taking and what is their framework for engagement. And that would be the challenge for the developing countries of the global South. Um, so this is really how we want to think through the current international political economy. We would just say that a lot of things are in flux. But before we sign off for this week's class, I want to very quickly touch on the finals, which would become available on Monday morning, Monday, May 19th. Sorry, Monday, May 12th, 12:01 a.m., Monday, May 12th. And that would be when your finals would open and obviously your evaluation for this class as well. And your finals will be due by 11:59 p.m. Thursday, May 22nd. And in your finals, just a quick overview so that to work away some of the anxiety, and I would have more detailed video on this available next week, Sunday night, going into Monday. Your the final exam will have a two parts. So there is a two-part final exam. There is one, a multiple choice part, and two, a short answer part. The multiple choice part of your exam will be 25 multiple choice questions and on all of the course materials. You will have two attempts, and each attempt is timed at 1 hour. The score on the multiple choice part will be an average of the first and second attempt if both are used. The short answer part of the exam is based exclusively on the document that has been posted in the exam folder and Chapter 10, International Economic Development. Note, the section on structural adjustment programs. Pay particular attention to it. Please download and read the document. There are two questions in the short answer part of the exam. In responding to these questions, you must not quote or copy any information from the internet. If you do, you will receive 0 for the short answer part. The short answer part is timed at 1 hour, and you will have two attempts. The second attempt can be used to edit your answers before the deadline if you are not happy with the first attempt. Both parts of the final exam, as I said, will be due by 11:59 p.m. Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. So Thursday, May 22nd, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. I'd like to thank every student in this class for the privilege of being your Economics 330 Global Trade and Political Economy instructor this semester. And speaking very frankly, teaching this class remains a rewarding experience for me, and I hope for you as well. Thank you. Good luck.